So I thought that in light of it being Education Week here in 2011, I would just talk about the education system and what it means for a young person like myself. This video is mainly referring to high school education, and I guess I am talking with my own bias of being through the high school public education system for the past 5 years. And I also think it's safe to say that at these teenage years that I've gone through and am still going through, of course, you really change as a person in so many different ways, and you know, there every step of the way is the education system, and you're there with it. So first of all, whether you like it or not, the education system is based on conformity. And conformity means sort of bringing everyone in with the standards of what needs to be known. That's what we're told, that the information that we're giving you is what you need to know to be successful, to thrive, to pass the HSC exam, things like that. And so parents and students put their faith in this education system, and it's almost like, from a parent's point of view, whether you've thought about it like this or not, here's my son or daughter, teach them everything they need to know, and I'll make sure I do my part as well by making sure that they study. Teach them everything they need to know, and they'll come out successful, smart, knowledgeable, top of the class, whatever. And so then you're in this system, and you've got the syllabus, and the syllabus is those standards. It's what you should know, and you've got your math, you've got your English, and your humanities, and then I guess at the bottom you've got your arts. When you get into the later years of the HSC, the public education system, you can change things around a bit and specialise in certain things, but you've always got those core subjects that you've sort of got to stick to. Despite everyone's values or background or what the students and what they love doing, we bring them all into this one system and teach them a set of things that the syllabus has compiled as the standard and what should be known. One thing about the syllabus is that although it's changed over since the education system's been around, just because of the world changing, it is something that is intangible. Intangible meaning that you don't question it. There's the classic scenario of every kid where they've put their hand up in class and said, but when are we going to use this? That's irrelevant. You're going to use it, or that's what you're told, and just learn this. So you're crammed with all the facts and figures about a topic, and then you're put through a test. And the test is you versus the rest of the class. The test is questions on the subject, not how creatively or actively you can think about the subject or talk about the subject. It's the facts. It's, do you remember this? What happened here, and what was this about in relation to this topic? Depending on how you went in the test, that sort of defines your intelligence in relation to the rest of the class. Here, perhaps being 100% top of the class, maybe you landed somewhere here. So, if top of the class is here, and you're here, you're then dubbed with the mindset that here is where you should be, here is where you are, therefore you're not trying hard enough, because everything that we've taught you is right and what you should know, but you're not trying hard enough, obviously, because you're not up here. So unless you're scoring 100% in every exam that you have, you're not working hard enough, apparently. At the end of these 5 years of high school, you sit an exam called the High School Certificate. Now, depending on how you go in this exam, that determines whether you're eligible for university and whether university would be something suitable for you. And the exam, again, is not one-on-one, it's not a conversation, it's not anything like that. You're sat in a room with a few hundred other people your age with the same paper, and you've got the questions in front of you. You've been taught pretty broadly a topic depending on your subject, and then they select specifically some questions or some particular thing from that, and you're supposed to remember how to answer that. So I can't quite figure out if by doing that, is it a way to sort of just scare you into learning everything, because just in case, you know, you never know what it might be, so we'll scare you into learning everything to make sure it all gets in your head. So that's using fear. Or is it just, hey, well, we hope you've learnt everything and taken it all in, we're going to pick a question and hopefully you read about it or specialised in it or really got into this, because now we're going to ask you something about it. If you can answer it right, brilliant. If you can't, well, you haven't tried hard enough. So that's pretty much high school standards, conformity, and exams. The other thing I wanted to talk about is Education Week and how it's being celebrated. Now, this is only in relation to me and my area and my community, but this is what we're doing. I got a phone call last week from a principal of a school in my area asking if I would perform in the local shopping centre in celebration of Education Week. After my performance, there would be a large dance, a flash mob of students that have collaborated from all the schools in the area, and they would do a large flash mob in the shopping centre. Unfortunately, I had to decline because I've just come back from a music festival. I always loved performing, and sure, Education Week, what the hell. I am, however, travelling about an hour or two on Thursday to another town to perform in celebration of Education Week. At this event, there's going to be several other performances from some people that I know, and so really it's just a big gathering, a few speeches I imagine, and performances, showcasing things like that. Coming back to my story in relation to the education system, over the past 5 years I've been told to sit in class, do my work, learn particular subjects that frankly I just found boring. They didn't resonate with me, they didn't appeal to me, even though I really tried to get interested in them. Naturally, nothing sort of resonated or happened. Yet, because I go to school, and maybe because I'm not interested in them, I'm not studying them, I'm not going home and learning them, remembering the facts, I'm not passing exams, or I'm scoring very low in exams, and therefore I'm not trying hard enough, or I'm just a failure of a student. So I've walked around for the past 5 years with that label in the academic side of school. When I did get home, however, I would play guitar, sing, practice performing, and all of my time outside of school was put into performances, gigs, things like that, which, like, I won't lie, I've made money and pleased people, made people happy, and had a really great time, and it's something that I'm very, very passionate about. But I'd go to school 5 days a week, do school, do that, go through it, everything like that, go home, ignore my homework, what I was being told to do, play guitar, practice, things like that, and now I'm being asked to perform, which, you know, it's not a big deal, like, I get asked to perform, that's fine, but it's just, it's the hypocrisy of the whole thing, whether these organisers mean it or not. It's just me overthinking things, and that's why I'm making this video. So in celebration of Education Week, let's get all the performers, all the young performers, all these very young talented people that we've told to sit down, stop tapping their feet, stop singing in class, taking their iPod out of their ears, stop tapping their fingers or painting or doodling on their paper, things like that. We're bringing them all together, we're putting them on show to entertain everyone else and calling it Education Week. I really don't think I'm unlike my artistic counterparts or fellow students. I really think that they've had the same experience of maybe not doing well in class, yet music or art or dance was something that just resonated with them so immensely that they couldn't not do it. It was a part of them. I know that's what music's like for me. So I just want to finish by saying one thing, that creativity and passion is something that's so fragile and so amazing and precious. And I believe that young people are being educated out of their creative talents through the education system. Feel free to check some of the links I've left below and leave a comment whether you think I'm just some angry kid that needs to keep their mouth shut or whether you actually think I'm making a point. I'd love to hear from you, and thanks for watching.